I woke up to the smell of coffee and Sophie humming softly in the kitchen. "Morning, sleepy head," she said, turning toward me with that radiant smile that made my chest tighten. "Morning," I mumbled, still half asleep, watching her carefully arrange the coffee cups. "You're up early." "Couldn't sleep," she said, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "Thought I'd make us a proper breakfast. Before the chaos starts." I laughed softly, rubbing my eyes. "You mean before the baby turns our lives upside down?" Her smile faltered for a moment, just a flicker, but she recovered instantly. "Exactly. Chaos and love, all rolled into one." She winked, and I felt that familiar warmth settle over me. I sipped my coffee and studied her. Sophie had this effortless way of lighting up a room, but today something fell off. A flicker in her eyes, maybe a hesitation when she smiled at her phone lying on the counter. I shook my head. I didn't want to overthink. "So, big day today," I said, trying to sound casual. "We need to finalize the nursery plans. Have you talked to the decorator?" "I did," she said, nodding. "Everything's set for tomorrow. You'll see, it's perfect." She paused, glancing at the phone again before quickly turning back. "I just want everything to be right, "I know," I said, leaning closer. "And it will be. We're going to be fine." She smiled truly this time and reached out to touch my hand. "We always are, Ethan." Later that morning, I met Lucas at our favorite coffee shop. He grinned when I walked in. "Ethan, you look like a man in love." "Something like that," I said, shrugging. "Life's good right now." Lucas leaned back, eyes narrowing playfully. "Good? You mean you're terrified about fatherhood, but pretending you're calm?" "Maybe," I admitted with a chuckle. "But Sophie, she's incredible. I don't know how I got so lucky." Lucas raised an eyebrow. "Lucky, huh? Don't tell me she's actually smiling at you for longer than 5 seconds these days." "She is," I said, laughing. "I'm serious. I can't even explain it. She's glowing." Lucas smirked. "Glowing, huh? Baby hormones or secret plans?" I frowned, suddenly remembering the flicker I noticed earlier. "Secret plans?" I asked cautiously. Lucas shrugged. "Nothing serious. Just pay attention. Sometimes we miss the little things until they become big." "Yeah," I muttered, but his words lingered longer than I liked. After coffee, I went back home, eager to see Sophie again. She was sitting on the couch, phone in hand. "Hey," I said, sitting beside her. "Hey," she replied softly, smiling, but her thumb hovered over the screen nervously. "Did you enjoy your time with Lucas?" "Yeah," I said. "He keeps me grounded in a weird, annoying way." She laughed lightly. "Good. Grounded is important." I noticed a small notification pop up on her phone. A message preview, just a few words, and then it disappeared as she unlocked the screen. I didn't recognize the name. "Who's that from?" I asked casually. "Oh, just work stuff," she said quickly, a little too quickly. "Nothing important." I wanted to believe her, and I did. "Okay," I said, smiling. "Just make sure nothing interferes with our day." She grinned and leaned into me. "Don't worry, I've got you." I held her hand, thinking about the life we were building. Nursery plans, weekend walks, Sunday mornings. I could see it all in my mind, perfectly, almost painfully perfect. And yet, a tiny knot twisted in my stomach, a whisper I tried to ignore. We talked about baby names, half joking, half serious. "Ethan," she said suddenly, "what if we pick a name now, and the baby surprises us?" "Then we'll adjust," I said, smiling. "I'm flexible, but I like the idea of having a name ready. Makes it real, "It is real," she whispered, resting her head on my shoulder. "Soon, really real." We laughed at ridiculous names, imagined absurd scenarios, and for a moment, the world shrank to just the two of us. But every time her phone buzzed or a shadow crossed her face, that little knot tightened. I brushed it aside. "I'm overthinking," I told myself. "Sophie loves me. She wouldn't hide anything from me." "Overthinking doesn't suit you," Sophie murmured, sensing my thoughts. "Trust me." I nodded, forcing the tension away. For now, life was perfect. For now, I could believe in the smiles, the laughter, and the future I was building. But deep down, I knew I'd have to keep watching just a little. Because sometimes, the smallest flicker hides the biggest truth. I woke to my phone buzzing like it had a vendetta. It was Sophie. My heart raced before I even saw the message. It happened. Come to the hospital now. I jumped out of bed. What happened? I muttered to myself, already throwing on clothes. My hands were shaking. By the time I reached the hospital, I was practically running. At the entrance, Sophie was waiting, her face pale, eyes bright. "Ethan," she cried. "Are you okay?" I asked, grabbing her hands. "What happened?" The baby came early," she stammered. "It's fine. I'm fine. You have to see." Her words trailed off as tears slipped down her cheeks. I followed her inside, heart hammering. "Early? How early?" She avoided my gaze. "2 weeks, but it's okay. Everything's okay." I shook my head. "I don't get it. We still had time. Are you sure you're okay?" "I'm fine," she insisted, forcing a weak smile. "You'll see the baby soon." We entered the delivery room, and the nurse handed me a small bundle. My hands trembled. "It's beautiful," I whispered, barely able to speak. Sophie smiled faintly, but I caught it. Something off in her eyes, just for a moment. My chest tightened, but I pushed it aside. "We did it," I said, voice cracking. "Yeah," she whispered, wrapping her arm around me. "We did." Later, a doctor approached, clipboard in hand. "Mr. Ethan?" he asked. "The baby's due date doesn't match the date you mentioned." "What do you mean?" I asked, confused. Sophie said she came early. He cleared his throat. "According to our calculations, the baby is due in 2 weeks. So technically, delivery today is earlier than expected. Yes, but by medical standards, this date is unusual." I stared at Sophie. "What? How?" She looked down, fiddling with the blanket. I didn't want you to worry," she said softly. I thought it would be better this way." "I thought what way?" I pressed, my voice tight. "Sophie, what are you saying?" She looked up quickly, eyes wide. Please don't be upset. I did it for us. For the baby. I didn't want you stressed." I shook my head, disbelief and panic colliding. "But the due date, it doesn't match. How could you? Why would you lie?" "I didn't lie," she whispered, almost pleading. "I just wanted everything to feel perfect. I didn't want you worried. I wanted it to be a surprise." "Surprise?" My voice rose. "Sophie, this isn't a party. This is our baby." "I know," she said, grabbing my hands. I know. I panicked. I didn't know what to do. I thought it would be better if... I pulled back, trying to calm myself. "You didn't think. You just lied. How am I supposed to trust anything now?" Sophie's lips trembled. "Ethan, please. I'm still me. I'm still here. Don't let this ruin us." I stepped out into the hallway, taking a deep breath, trying to steady my racing thoughts. I pulled out my phone and called Lucas. "Lucas, I need advice." "What happened?" he asked immediately. I could hear concern in his voice. "It's Sophie," I said, voice tight. She said the baby came early. But the doctors, they said the due date doesn't match. I don't understand. I can't believe she would lie." There was a pause. "Whoa, okay. Slow down. Are you calm enough to think straight?" "I don't know," I admitted. "Everything feels wrong. I don't know if I'm overreacting or..." "You're not overreacting," Lucas said firmly. "Something's off. Trust your instincts. Just talk to her. Get all the facts before you blow up. But pay attention to what doesn't make sense." "I did," I said. "I asked her. She said she just wanted it to feel perfect." She panicked. "But..." I ran a hand through my hair. "It doesn't add up." "Then don't ignore it," Lucas said. "You need clarity, Ethan. Keep your head, document everything. Don't let emotions cloud your judgment." I nodded, even though he couldn't see me. Yeah, you're right." I returned to the delivery room, heart heavy. Sophie was holding the baby, smiling weakly. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't mean for it to be like this." I swallowed hard. "Sophie, I love you, but I don't understand. How could you hide something like this? The due date, it's off. Everything feels wrong." She looked down, voice trembling. I just wanted everything to be perfect. I didn't want you stressed. I thought, maybe if it happened this way, it would be better." "Better?" I echoed, disbelief in my tone. "Better for who? You or us?" I didn't think," she admitted finally. "I just panicked. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me." "I don't hate you," I said quietly, though my chest ached. "But I can't ignore this, Sophie. Something isn't right. I need the truth." She looked away, silence stretching between us. My mind spun with questions. Why lie? What was she hiding? Could I trust her at all? I glanced at the baby, tiny fingers curled around mine. A mix of joy and fear swirled inside me. I wanted to believe, to trust, but doubt had planted its seed. Ethan, please, Sophie whispered. I need time, I said, voice shaking. I just need time. And for the first time, I realized that life wasn't perfect. Not yet. And maybe it never would be, unless I discover the truth. I couldn't sleep that night. My mind kept replaying Sophie's words, her smile, the baby's tiny fingers. Something didn't sit right. I needed answers, even if I hated what I might find. The next morning, I decided to start small. I called Olivia, our neighbor. Hey, Olivia, you got a minute? Of course, Ethan. Everything okay? She asked cheerfully, but I sensed her curiosity immediately. I just need to ask you something, I said cautiously. Did you happen to see Sophie yesterday evening? Oh, yes, Olivia said, her tone bright but matter of fact. I saw her walking down Elm Street around 7. I waved, but she didn't notice me. Elm Street? That's not even near our apartment, I thought, heart thumping. She said she was home all evening. Oh, that's strange, Olivia said softly. I wouldn't normally mention it, but now that you say it, my stomach twisted. Thanks, Olivia. I just needed to know. I appreciate it. You're welcome, Ethan. Is everything okay with Sophie? I swallowed hard. Yeah, just parental anxiety, I guess. I hung up before she could ask more. Later, I checked Sophie's phone when she left it unattended, carefully, without touching anything. Her text didn't match what she told me. A short exchange with someone named Mia, laughs, quick emojis, time she claimed to be home. Everything was off. I muttered under my breath. What the hell is going on? Lucas called that afternoon. You sound tense, man. Everything okay? I'm not sure, I admitted. Sophie's story, nothing adds up. She says one thing, but I catch these little lies. Olivia saw her somewhere else. Her texts. I don't know, Lucas. I feel like I'm losing it. Breathe, he said calmly. Listen, Ethan. Don't accuse her yet. Just observe, collect facts, and stay level-headed. That's the only way you'll know the truth. I'm trying, I said, rubbing my eyes. But it's like every time I trust her, something contradicts it. Then don't trust blindly, Lucas said firmly. Just pay attention. Keep your head. You'll see what's real soon enough. I hung up and stared at the ceiling. Trust, something I thought was unshakable. Now, even the smallest flicker made me doubt everything. When Sophie returned that evening, she greeted me with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Hey, Ethan. Busy day. Yeah, I said slowly. I ran some errands, talked to Olivia. How was your day? Oh, same old, she said lightly, placing the baby in my arms. Just a little rest and naps. The baby's been adorable, of course. I held the baby close, feeling the warmth, and tried to focus on that. You didn't go anywhere unusual? I asked carefully. Sophie frowned slightly. Unusual? No, Ethan. I stayed home. Why do you ask? I hesitated. I like knowing what's going on. For the baby. She laughed softly, a sound that should have been comforting but felt tight. You worry too much. I promise, everything's fine. You don't have to doubt me. Doubt? I asked, heart tightening. I don't want to, but things don't line up. Small things, Sophie. Things that make me question. She reached for my hand, her grip firm. Ethan, look at me. Do you really think I would lie about something so important? I searched her eyes, seeing fear, charm, manipulation, all at once. I want to believe you. But she shook her head, cutting me off. No buts. You're letting paranoia ruin this moment. Look at the baby. Smile, Ethan. Don't ruin our happiness with doubts. Her words wrapped around me, pressing, suffocating. I wanted to argue, to demand truth, but something in her tone made me hesitate. I exhaled slowly. Okay, maybe I'm overthinking. See, she said softly, everything's fine. You just need to relax. Trust me. But deep down, I couldn't. That's when the small, nagging voice in my head grew louder. The texts, Olivia's citing, the flickers of hesitation, it all added up. I could feel the betrayal waiting to reveal itself, like a storm on the horizon. The next day, I tried being casual. Sophie, did you talk to Mia today? She paused. Mia? What? I noticed some messages yesterday. Want to make sure everything's normal. She smiled sweetly, but it didn't reach her eyes. Everything's normal. Don't worry about Mia, Ethan. She's just a friend. That's all. Just a friend. I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Okay, I guess. You promise? Promise, she said, leaning in to kiss my cheek. You're letting your mind run wild again. Stop it. Focus on us. On our family. I nodded, but the knot in my stomach only tightened. Yeah, focus on us. Later, alone in the living room, I called Lucas again. Lucas, I can't stop noticing things. I'm watching her, try to read every word, every glance. It's driving me insane. Good, he said calmly. Pay attention. Don't act yet. Don't accuse. Just watch, Ethan. Every detail counts. I just don't know how to stay calm when it feels like she's slipping through my fingers. You'll manage, Lucas said. You're smart. You've handled worse. Just collect the facts, no matter how small. I hung up and looked at the baby, tiny fingers curling around mine. I can't lose you too, I whispered. I need to know, Sophie. I need the truth. That night, Sophie lay beside me, her hand brushing mine. You're thinking too much, she murmured. I'm not, I said quietly. I need clarity. That's all. Clarity, she echoed, a hint of amusement in her voice. Ethan, life isn't all black and white. Don't let shadows haunt you. I'll try, I admitted, though my mind raced. Shadows weren't just haunting me. They were everywhere, and I could feel them tightening their grip. I closed my eyes, letting the baby's soft breathing calm me. But I knew one thing for certain. I wouldn't rest until I uncovered every secret, every whisper, every lie. And deep inside, I sensed Sophie knew I was beginning to see. I couldn't stop thinking about the inconsistencies. The flickers, the texts, Olivia's sighting, they all piled on me until I felt dizzy. I needed to know the truth, no matter how painful. I waited until Sophie was asleep and then quietly grabbed her phone from the kitchen counter. My hand shook. A small string of notifications popped up, messages from Mia. I opened the conversation, eyes widening. Ethan, can you believe it? I whispered to myself. All this time she lied. The texts were casual, flirty even. Can't wait to see you tonight, one said. Another, he'll never know. My heart sank. What the hell, Sophie? I muttered, pacing the living room. How could you? A sudden knock startled me. I hid the phone just as Sophie appeared, rubbing her eyes. Ethan, what are you doing up? I held the phone behind my back. I couldn't sleep, I said. Just checking something. You look tense, she said softly, sitting on the couch. Stress. Yeah, I said, voice tight. Stress. About everything. Life. Us. The baby. She leaned closer, eyes warm. Ethan, you worry too much. I promise, nothing's wrong. Just relax. I opened my mouth, then closed it. Something about the way she smiled, just slightly too controlled, made my stomach knot. Relax, I echoed. You make it sound so easy. I know it's hard, she said, placing a hand on my arm. But I'm here. We're fine. I glanced at the phone lying on the counter. It seemed so ordinary. I wanted to confront her, to demand the truth, but fear held me back. The next day, I saw Rachel at work. Her eyes caught mine. Ethan, you look exhausted. Everything okay? I hesitated, then shook my head. Not really. She gestured to the side. Walk with me. In the quiet hallway, I whispered, I think Sophie's hiding something. Something serious. Rachel frowned. You mean? Yes, I said, running a hand through my hair. Texts, lies. She's been somewhere she said she wasn't. I feel like I'm losing my mind. You're not crazy, Rachel said gently. You're noticing patterns. You have instincts. Trust them, but be careful. Confront carefully, or you might escalate things. I have to know, I said, voice shaking. I need to see for myself. That night, I stayed up again, watching her phone when she stepped in the bathroom. There was Mia's name, repeated calls, texts with times she claimed to be home. I felt like my chest was being crushed. I grabbed Sophie as she returned. We need to talk, I said, voice low but firm. She looked surprised. About what? The messages, Sophie. Mia, don't lie to me. My voice cracked. I know about her. She laughed, a short, sharp sound. Ethan, you're imagining things. Mia? Why would you even think? I held up the phone. Don't lie. I saw the text, the calls. Everything. Her smile faltered, but she quickly recovered. Okay, yes. Mia. But it's not what you think. Not what I think. Sophie. It says, can't wait to see you tonight. It says he'll never know. My hand shook with rage. I don't want to hurt you, she said, her voice trembling slightly. I was confused. Mia, she's been giving me advice. I didn't mean anything. You didn't mean anything? I shouted. Do you even hear yourself? How can I believe anything you say? I'm scared, Ethan, she said, tears forming. I panicked. I thought if I don't know. I made mistakes, okay? Mistakes. I stepped back, feeling humiliated, enraged, crushed. Mistakes? You call this a mistake? She bit her lip, pleading. Please don't let this ruin us. I still love you. I still care about you. The baby us. Don't throw it all away. I sank onto the couch, chest heaving. I don't know who you are anymore. How could you do this? How could you lie to me? I don't know, she cried. I didn't plan it. I panicked. I wanted to feel safe. I buried my face in my hands, shaking. Safe? Sophie, you destroyed everything. The next day, Rachel cornered me in the office. Ethan, you look like hell. Talk to me. I can't stop thinking about it, I admitted. She lied. She betrayed me. I feel lost. Rachel placed a hand on my shoulder. I'm here. You're not alone. But don't let anger control you. Plan your next step carefully. Evidence, facts, clarity. You have to protect yourself and the baby emotionally. I don't even know where to start. I whispered. Start small, she said. Don't confront blindly. Observe. Watch. Document. And keep your cool. That's how you'll get answers without losing yourself. I nodded, feeling a little of the fog lift. Thanks, Rachel. I don't know what I'd do without someone to talk to. You'll figure it out, she said softly. Just don't let it consume you. That evening, Sophie tried to cuddle beside me. You're upset again, she murmured. Talk to me. Tell me what's wrong. I saw everything, I said, my voice low. I know about Mia. The messages. The calls. Don't pretend otherwise. She paused, eyes wide. Ethan, you're overreacting. It's nothing. I told you, I panicked, okay? I'm not overreacting. I shouted. You lied to me. Manipulated me. How am I supposed to trust you again? I'm not manipulating you, she said sharply. You're letting paranoia ruin this. Can't you see? I'm still me. I'm still here. Don't let your mind twist everything. I don't know if I can believe that. I whispered, chest tight. I don't know what to think anymore. She touched my arm gently. Then take a breath. Stop fighting me. Focus on us. Focus on the baby. Don't let shadows win. I looked at her, saw the charm, the fear, the twisting of words, and I realized I couldn't let shadows control me. I had to act. I had a plan. Carefully. Deliberately. I nodded slowly. I'll try, I said, though my mind raced with strategies, lists, evidence. I wouldn't let this destroy me. I wouldn't let it destroy my life. Sophie smiled, unaware I had already started planning. And that's when I knew. The game had changed and I wouldn't lose. I couldn't stop thinking about Sophie. Every smile, every excuse, every word she twisted replayed in my head like a broken record. My love felt heavy, suffocating, almost suffocating me. I grabbed my phone and called Daniel, my older colleague and someone I trusted. Daniel, I need advice. I don't know what to do. Whoa, slow down, he said immediately. What happened? You sound tense. I ran a hand through my hair. It's Sophie. She's been lying to me. About everything. Mia. Messages. Where she's been. I don't know if I can trust her. Daniel sighed. I see. You're hurt, Ethan. That's natural. But you need to think before you act. Emotions cloud judgment. Gather facts first. I can't just sit and wait. I snapped. Every lie she's told. Every hidden message. It feels like betrayal. I don't even know if I should forgive her or do something else. Then document it, Daniel said firmly. Write everything down. Times, dates, inconsistencies. Keep evidence. You'll need clarity before any confrontation. Acting blindly will hurt you more. I muttered, pacing. I can do that. I have to do that. That night, Sophie sat beside me on the couch, feeding the baby a bottle. You've been distant, she said softly. Is something wrong? I'm not distant, I said, keeping my voice steady. I'm paying attention. She tilted her head. Attention? Ethan, you're reading too much into everything. I've been here the whole time. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I echoed, feeling my chest tighten. Sophie, you've lied. You've hidden things. You don't admit the truth. How can you say it's fine? She put a hand on my arm. Ethan, please. You're letting your mind play tricks on you. You're imagining things. I would never betray you like that. I looked at her, eyes narrowing. Then why are the texts there? Why did Olivia see you somewhere else? Why did Mia call constantly? Sophie's lips trembled. I panicked. I made mistakes. I didn't mean anything. You have to trust me. Trust you? I asked sharply. Sophie, how can I trust a word you say now? She sighed, eyes filling with tears. I love you. I'm scared. Don't let this ruin everything we've built. I don't know what to do. I muttered, voice breaking. I feel crushed, humiliated, betrayed. Sophie leaned closer, voice soft. Then lean on me. Don't let anger decide for you. Focus on us. On the baby. Please, Ethan. I stepped back, shaking my head. No, not now. I need clarity. I need to know the truth before I can even think about anything else. The next day, Daniel noticed my changed behavior at work. Ethan, you're different. Tense, distracted. Everything okay at home? I hesitated. Not really. I'm dealing with some personal issues. Sophie, I can't trust her. I'm trying to understand what's real and what's not. Daniel frowned. Be careful. Don't act out of anger. Gather facts. Protect yourself first. You don't want to make mistakes that hurt you more in the long run. I know, I said, but it's hard. Every time I see her, I feel like everything I believed in is collapsing. Daniel nodded. That's natural. Heartbreak can cloud judgment, but it can also sharpen awareness. Use it. Document everything. Take note of texts, calls, receipts, inconsistencies. You'll need them if things escalate. I'm already doing that, I admitted. I've started a log. Dates, times, details. Everything. I need to see the full picture before confronting her. Good, Daniel said. That's how you regain control. Not by yelling or accusing blindly. By knowing exactly what happened. That way, you decide your next move with clarity, not emotion. I nodded, taking in his words. I don't want to lose myself in anger. But I can't ignore it either. I need a plan. I need evidence. Later, at home, Sophie tried to engage me in casual conversation. Dinner? I made your favorite, she said, smiling. I'm not hungry, I said, eyes cold. I can't eat when everything feels like a lie. Her face hardened slightly. Ethan, don't let paranoia ruin this. You're making mountains out of molehills. I'm here. We're fine. We're fine. I asked, voice rising. How can we be fine when you hide things, lie, manipulate? I feel like I don't even know you anymore. Sophie looked shocked, then defensive. I'm telling you the truth now. You're twisting everything. Can't you see I'm scared too? I see fear, I said quietly. But I also see manipulation. You're controlling the narrative, Sophie, making me question my own mind. I'm done questioning myself. I need clarity. She paused, swallowing hard. Ethan, please. Don't let anger decide everything. You love me. Don't throw it all away. I love you, I said, voice tight. But love isn't enough when trust is gone. I need proof. I need honesty. That's the only way I can think about anything else. Sophie stared at me, lips pressed together, eyes guarded. I knew she realized I wasn't naive anymore, that I had begun to see through her facade. I went to my room and opened my notebook, writing down everything. Dates, times, texts, suspicious behavior, phone calls. I felt a strange sense of control returning. The anger was still there, but it was focused now. Sharpened. Purposeful. I whispered to myself, I can't let this destroy me. I won't let her destroy me. Not the lies, not the manipulation. I'll find the truth. And when I do, I'll decide what comes next. For the first time, heartbreak began to morph into determination. The naivety, the blind trust was gone. In its place stood awareness, caution, and the beginnings of a plan. I closed my notebook and looked at the baby sleeping peacefully. I'll protect you, I whispered. I'll find the truth, and I'll make sure we're safe. I won't lose myself. Not now, not ever. And for the first time in weeks, I felt a flicker of strength amidst the chaos. I woke to messages flooding my phone, friends, colleagues, even strangers commenting on Sophie. Her lies were starting to surface in ways I hadn't expected. A sinking feeling hit me first, then a strange mix of relief and sorrow. Lucas called immediately. Ethan, are you seeing this? Yeah, I said, voice tight. It's happening, but it's not just me noticing. Everyone's starting to see through her. Exactly, Lucas said. You've been documenting, watching. Now it's like the world is catching up. I don't feel good, I admitted, seeing her like this. The woman I loved, everyone noticing her lies. I feel vindicated, but also empty. That's normal, Lucas said. Don't confuse justice with joy. You're allowed to feel conflicted. I stared at the phone again. One of my colleagues, Rachel, had sent me a private message. I noticed Sophie's excuses don't match reality. You're handling this better than I would. Stay strong. I typed back, thanks. I don't want to lose myself in anger. I need clarity, not revenge. Lucas chimed in. Good. That's the mindset. Keep documenting, but don't act impulsively. Let her actions speak for themselves. Later, Sophie walked in, radiant as always, or at least she tried to be. Ethan, did you see the baby? He's adorable, isn't he? I looked at her, careful. Yes, he's beautiful. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. You've been quiet today. Thinking about work, maybe? Just observing, I said. You seem busy today, too. She frowned. Busy? I've just been running errands. Nothing unusual. I bit my tongue. Right? Her phone buzzed, and she quickly picked it up. I noticed her expression tighten for a moment. A small slip, but she masked it instantly. You okay? I asked casually. Of course, she said, voice a little too bright. Just a work call. I nodded, but my mind was racing. These small cracks were multiplying. People were noticing her inconsistencies, her stories falling apart without me touching a thing. That evening, Lucas and I met at our usual coffee spot. Ethan, you have to be careful, he said. People are talking. Sophie's lies are unraveling publicly, but you're still in a delicate position. Stay professional. Stay calm. I know, I said, but it's hard. I feel like the woman I trusted is crumbling before me. And part of me wants to gloat. Don't, Lucas said firmly. Not yet. That temptation will pass if you focus on truth. Let karma work its course. I exhaled, running a hand through my hair. It's painful, though, seeing her lose credibility, her friends questioning her, her family getting tense. Lucas nodded. I know, but don't mistake pain for satisfaction. You're observing consequences, not creating them. I glanced down at my notebook. Receipts, messages, dates, inconsistencies, all lined up neatly. My anger had been channeled into something productive. Documentation, clarity, planning. Lucas leaned forward. If this escalates legally or publicly, I suggest you get guidance. I know someone, Henry. He's a mentor, legal savvy. Not to attack, but to protect you and your rights. Would you want me to connect you? I considered it. Yes. I need to be prepared for whatever comes next. Not revenge, just protection. Lucas smiled. Good. I'll set it up. Back at home, Sophie tried to engage me again. Dinner? I made your favorite. I nodded, not looking at her. Thank you. I'm not very hungry tonight. Her face tightened. You're avoiding me. Why? I kept my voice calm. Because I need space. You've been inconsistent. People are noticing. I'm observing, Sophie. That's all. She tried to mask it with charm. Ethan, you're letting this consume you. Don't let shadows dictate your life. Focus on the baby. On us. I shook my head. I'm focusing on reality. The truth. Not your version of it. Her hands trembled slightly. You don't have to do this. Don't let anger blind you. I'm scared too. I studied her, noticing the subtle cracks, the hesitation behind the mask. I see that now. I see you. Sophie looked away. Ethan, please. Don't make this worse. Let's just pretend. For the baby. I exhaled slowly. I can't. I need clarity. That's not just for me. It's for him. I glanced at the baby sleeping peacefully in his crib. I need to know what's real and what isn't. She flinched but didn't speak. The silence stretched. I realized something. Her manipulations were failing. The charm, the tears, the defensiveness, they weren't working anymore. The next morning, I met with Henry, thanks to Lucas's introduction. "Ethan, sit," he said, gesturing to a chair in his office. "Tell me what's happening." I explained briefly. Sophie's lies, Mia, the inconsistencies, the growing public scrutiny, my documentation. Henry nodded thoughtfully. "You're doing the right thing by staying calm and documenting. Don't confront recklessly. Let evidence guide you. And remember, your focus is clarity, safety, and your child, not revenge." I feel conflicted, I admitted. Seeing her fall from grace is painful, but also, I don't know, there's a part of me that feels vindicated. "Vindication is natural," Henry said, "but don't let it consume you. Karma works best when you don't intervene. Focus on your life, your child, and your truth. Let the universe handle the rest." I nodded, feeling a strange sense of relief. My anger had been redirected. I wasn't chasing revenge. I was simply standing aside, observing consequences. Later that day, Lucas called. "Ethan, how's it going?" "I'm okay," I said. "It's strange. I feel a mix of sorrow and vindication. I don't enjoy seeing her struggle, but I also feel balanced in a way." "That's the point," Lucas said. "You're no longer naive. You're cautious, aware, and documenting reality. Karma is unfolding naturally. You don't have to force it." I looked at the baby sleeping nearby, his tiny fingers curling around mine. "I'll protect him, and I'll protect myself. That's what matters." Lucas laughed softly. "Exactly. That's the strength I've been telling you to find. Now you're using it." I exhaled slowly, tension leaving my shoulders for the first time in weeks. Sophie's manipulations were failing. The truth was coming to light, and I could finally breathe, even as sorrow lingered. It was bittersweet, seeing the woman I loved fall, but I remained focused. Focused on clarity, focused on the baby, focused on myself. And for the first time in a long while, I felt a sense of balance amidst the chaos. I had been planning this moment for days, rehearsing every word, every reaction. Today, I wasn't hiding. Today, I was going to face Sophie, no matter what it cost. I saw her in the lobby of the community center, talking to a small group of friends. She looked radiant, confident, like nothing had happened. My chest tightened. I swallowed and walked up. "Sophie," I said loudly, making sure she noticed me. "We need to talk. Now." She turned, startled, but quickly masked it with a smile. "Ethan, what a surprise. Everyone, this is awkward." I ignored the murmurs around us. "Sophie, stop pretending. Everyone here deserves the truth. I know about Mia, the messages, your lies. I know where you've been hiding and who you've deceived." Her smile faltered. "Ethan, you're overreacting. This is public. Why are you humiliating me?" "I'm not humiliating you," I said calmly. "I'm exposing the truth. I'm letting people see who you really are. I'm giving you a chance to admit it before it comes from multiple sources." She looked around, panic flickering in her eyes. "Ethan, please. You don't understand. I panicked. I didn't mean. I interrupted, voice rising. "Sophie, you lied about everything. You manipulated me, our friends, even your family. You made me question my own mind. Did you think no one would notice?" Some of her friends murmured, glancing at each other. Sophie tried to laugh it off. "Ethan, don't do this. You're letting anger control you." "I'm letting reality speak," I said, holding up my notebook. "Dates, times, texts, receipts. Evidence. Witnesses. People saw you lie. Olivia saw you somewhere you claimed to be home. James overheard a conversation that proves your deception." Sophie's face drained of color. "James? It doesn't matter." "Doesn't matter?" I echoed. "The truth matters, and it's coming out, whether you like it or not." She glanced around, her composure cracking. "Ethan, please, don't make a scene. Don't destroy everything we have. I can explain." "Explain?" I asked, stepping closer. "Explain how you destroyed my trust? How you made me question everything I believed in? How you turn our lives upside down?" A few people whispered among themselves. Sophie tried to regain control. Everyone's overreacting. Ethan, you're twisting everything. It wasn't. You didn't what? I shouted. You didn't lie? You didn't betray me? Sophie, stop pretending. The evidence doesn't lie. You do. Tears welled in her eyes. Ethan, I love you. I swear. I was scared. I made mistakes. I love you too, I said, voice low but firm. And I trusted you. But love isn't enough when someone manipulates every word, every action. You've lost that privilege. Sophie's friends started murmuring, some nodding. She's right, a colleague whispered. I noticed her excuses didn't add up. Sophie's hand shook. Ethan, please don't do this in public. I'm begging you. I shook my head. This isn't about humiliation. It's about clarity. For me, for everyone who trusted you, and for our child. I'm done hiding, done doubting myself. The truth deserves to be seen. She gasped, covering her mouth. You're destroying me. I looked at her with a mix of sorrow and resolve. I'm not destroying you. Your actions are. I'm just observing the consequences. And yes, it's painful to see the woman I loved like this, but I won't let anger make me cruel. I won't stoop to your level. Sophie's tears flowed freely now. Ethan, I never meant to hurt you. You didn't mean to, I said softly, but that doesn't erase the damage. That doesn't undo the lies. And it doesn't change that I have to choose what's next for me. And I choose dignity. I choose clarity. I choose moving forward without losing myself. A silence fell over the room. People looked at her, then at me. Some nodded, some whispered quietly. Sophie looked broken, realizing that no amount of charm or manipulation could fix this now. Ethan, please, she said, voice trembling. I'll change. I'll make it right. I shook my head. You can't undo what's done. You can only live with it. And that's your burden. Mine is to protect myself, our child, and my peace. That's the choice I make today. Sophie's shoulders slumped. She finally realized it. Her manipulation had failed. Her panic, her lies, her charm, none of it mattered anymore. The truth had cornered her, and she had no escape. I turned to the small group around us. I'm done explaining. Let this be a lesson. Honesty matters. Trust is fragile, and manipulation eventually unravels. Sophie whispered, I understand. I walked away, holding my notebook close, feeling a strange mix of relief, heartbreak, and resolve. I had confronted the truth, not with rage, but with clarity. I had chosen myself over vengeance. I had chosen dignity over destruction. Lucas caught up with me outside. Ethan, you did it. I know it hurt, but you stayed true to yourself. I did what I had to do, I said, glancing back at Sophie standing alone. I don't hate her. I just can't let her control me anymore. Lucas nodded. That's strength, not weakness. You didn't destroy her. You allowed consequences to unfold naturally. You maintained your integrity. I exhaled, the tension slowly leaving my shoulders. It's over. And yet, it's only just beginning for both of us. I hope she learns from this. I hope she understands the weight of what she's lost. Lucas smiled. She will, and you'll move forward, stronger, wiser, and ready to protect what matters most. I looked at my notebook one last time, then slipped it into my bag. Yes, I whispered. I choose myself. I choose clarity. And I choose the future, not the past. Sophie remained in the background, regret etched across her face. I didn't gloat. I didn't celebrate. I simply walked away, knowing that the woman I loved had been cornered by her own actions, and I had risen above the pain. And in that moment, I felt the first true sense of peace in weeks. I woke up to sunlight streaming through the window, and for the first time in weeks, I didn't feel the weight of lies pressing down on me. Sophie was gone, out of my life completely, and with her, the constant tension and betrayal had finally lifted. Lucas called first thing. Morning, man. How's my favorite survivor doing? I smiled. Surviving. Slowly learning how to breathe again. Feels lighter, you know. I know exactly what you mean, he said. Freedom doesn't always feel immediate, but you'll get there. You've earned it. I'm trying, I admitted. Some days are easier than others. But I keep reminding myself, trust, clarity, self-respect. Those are lessons she forced me to learn. Lucas chuckled. You could have learned them without the drama. But hey, life has its ways. Later, I met Rachel for coffee. She handed me a cup and smiled softly. You look at peace, Ethan. More than I've seen in a long time. I feel almost normal again, I said. You were right, you know. I had to focus on clarity, not revenge. It's strange, but letting go of anger helped more than I expected. Rachel nodded. It's the first step toward real healing. And you're not doing it alone. Look around. You have support. I took a deep sip of coffee. I know. Lucas, Daniel, everyone helped me keep my head when I wanted to lose it completely. I can't express how grateful I am. You don't have to, she said gently. Actions speak louder than words. You're moving forward. That's gratitude in itself. I laughed softly. I guess you're right. But it's hard not to feel empty sometimes. She's gone, yes. But a part of me mourns what could have been. Rachel leaned forward. It's okay to mourn, Ethan. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. But don't dwell too long. Life doesn't pause for regret. Later that week, I met Daniel for lunch. So, Ethan, he said, sliding a plate toward me. How's the emotional state? Are you rebuilding properly? I think so, I said. I've started organizing my life. Work, baby, friends, family. I feel empowered for the first time in months. The lies taught me boundaries, resilience, and self-worth. Daniel smiled. That's exactly what I hoped. Trust is fragile, but you've rebuilt it in yourself. That's more important than any relationship lost. I've been reflecting a lot, I said. Sophie's absence is a void, but it's a necessary one. I see now that freedom often comes from letting go of toxicity, not from keeping someone who harms you close. Daniel nodded. Exactly. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means acknowledging pain and choosing a better path. And it sounds like you're walking that path. At home, Evelyn called, my mother. Ethan, darling, how are you? How's the baby? Both of us are doing well, I said. Actually, better than I expected. I'm finally learning to breathe without fear. Evelyn's voice softened. I'm proud of you, Ethan. You've handled so much. It's okay to be happy again. You deserve it. Thanks, Mom. I'm trying, I said. I'm building a life based on honesty now, surrounded by people I can trust. That's the priority. That afternoon, I played with the baby in the living room. His tiny hands gripping mine reminded me why I had to stay grounded, strong, and focused on the future. Every giggle, every curious look felt like a gift, a reminder that joy still existed beyond pain. Lucas popped by unexpectedly. Mind if I join? He asked, smiling at the baby. Not at all, I said. He's been waiting for his favorite uncle. Lucas sat on the floor, and the baby crawled to him immediately. I missed you, buddy, he said, tickling the baby gently. I watched them, a feeling of gratitude washing over me. I never realized how much support makes a difference, I said softly. It's not just surviving betrayal. It's rebuilding with people who care. Lucas nodded. Exactly. Life doesn't have to be toxic. It can be safe, nurturing, and honest. And you're making that happen. That evening, I reflected in my notebook, jotting down thoughts and lessons. Trust has limits, but resilience is infinite. Boundaries protect, clarity guides, and honesty heals. I wrote about forgiveness, not for Sophie, but for myself. Not to forget, but to move forward without bitterness. Rachel called again. Evening, Ethan. How's the day? Productive, I said. Spent time with the baby, Lucas, and just breathed. I feel lighter. I realize I've been holding on to anger longer than necessary. And letting go feels amazing. Good, she said softly. I'm proud of you. Healing is never linear, but you're moving. And that's all that matters. I smiled. I know. And I want to build a life, now, based on trust and clarity. No manipulation, no lies. Just honesty for me and the baby. She laughed softly. Sound perfect. And remember, you're allowed to be happy. You deserve it. Later that night, I tucked the baby into bed. Sleep well, little one. I whispered. Daddy's learning to live again. We'll have a future full of honesty and love. No lies, no fear. Just life. I felt a quiet peace as I sat beside him, watching his steady breathing. Sophie's absence left space for healing, growth, and hope. I wasn't looking back with anger anymore. I was looking forward, embracing every opportunity to build a life of integrity and love. Lucas texted me before I went to bed. "Good job today. Keep moving forward. The best is yet to come." I typed back, "Thanks, brother. I'm ready for it." I leaned back in my chair, feeling the weight of months of betrayal lifting. The woman I loved was gone, but I was still here, whole, aware, and determined to create a life defined by honesty and trust. And in that moment, I realized that moving forward isn't just surviving. It's choosing hope, choosing resilience, and choosing yourself. For the first time in a long time, I felt free.